Toastmaster. Not exactly the subject that's along the lines of love, but certainly a timely subject as well. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Again, the title of my speech is Facing Foreclosure, There Are Options. I appreciate you having me here tonight, and I just want to start with one question for everybody. For all the homeowners in the room, or for all the homeowners throughout this great nation, what is your greatest fear? Just shout it out. What's the greatest fear? Public speaking?
Losing the house.
Losing the house. Losing the house, foreclosure. And there's so much unrest today in the economy. People are wondering, oh my gosh, what's going on? What's my house worth? What am I to do if I lose my job, if I get sick, if there's a divorce? There's so many different issues that can contribute to this sad state of affairs, unfortunately, right now. But, you know, there are options. What I'd like to do first is really kind of get real with you and let you know what some of the statistics are of the situation. Preferably, right now in New Jersey, just within the last 30 days, there's been 933 new lease pendants filed, which is basically lawsuits for folks that haven't been making their mortgage payments. Now that information comes directly from the county records, as well as a website called NewJerseyLeasePendants.com, which is a very credible reference there as well. Now, when you look at all the houses in New Jersey, taking into account all the counties in New Jersey, right now there's well over 150,000, close to, 156,025 houses that are in some state of pre-foreclosure. Like Bergen County, there's almost 11,000 homes. Essex County, close to 19,000 homes. Hudson County, close to 9,000 homes. Morris, 5,500. Passaic, about 10,000 homes. So suffice it to say that there is, you know, an issue with a lot of folks. There are options. There is help for folks out there as well. You want to be careful. If you or you know somebody that's in that situation, you want to look at all your options closely. First of all, you want to consult somebody who knows what the heck they're talking about. Not every Tom, Dick, and Harry that has a real estate license knows what's going on when it comes to these types of distressed situations. There's a website called program3648.org. It's a nonprofit organization. It offers actually 24-hour assistance for folks. There's an 800 number. You can get that on the website, program3648.org. Or if you would like a private consultation, confidential, you can always email me or my wife at quast@exitrealtygold.com. Some of the options now that folks have, depending on their situation, and there are different things that they can do. The number one option that I'm going to talk about here is not very common, and banks are not doing this very often anymore, but it's called forbearance. And basically what that is if someone was in a situation where they had a temporary problem, where maybe they lost a job but then they got a job back, or if they were out of work because of sickness or something along those lines, basically they interact with the lender. They call their helpline or however they get in touch with their lender. This program 3648 also will have folks that will negotiate on your behalf. But basically what that is they'll take the payments that you were not able to make and they'll tack it on the back end of the loan. So they'll give you a little window of time where you don't have to make payments. The con to that is that once you, provided that you can then establish a payment history with them again, the challenge is that the payment can sometimes be 20 or 25% more on a monthly basis. So that's only strictly for somebody who's having an issue right now, but they know they're getting themselves back on their feet right away. The second type of option for somebody who really wants to stay in the home is a loan modification, which I'm sure everybody's heard of. It's the buzzword in the industry right now. You see it all over the internet, whether it's on AOL or whether it's on MSN Money, whatever it is. But loan modifications are a good, viable option for a lot of people, but the lenders are very strict on that criteria. What happens a lot of times with loan modifications is typically you can't even negotiate with the bank unless you're behind several payments already. So you have to, it's almost as similar as applying for another mortgage with them. You have to establish a communication with them. And you have to be able to establish the fact that you'll be able to have a payment history, and you'll be able to continue to make those payments. They're going to look at it very similar as if they were, if you were applying for another mortgage. So they're going to look at your assets, they're going to look at your liabilities, the ability to repay the loan, your cash flow, that's going to be huge. And then they're going to look at your debt-to-income ratio as well. Because the bank wants to know if they're going to go ahead and basically put their faith in you again, that you're going to be able to hold up your end of the bargain. So once you go through that process, and it's submitting documents, it's tax returns, it's proving proof of income, proof of job history, they're going to put you through a trial period. And there's something that's called ham payments, and basically what they are is it's basically proving the fact that you can make these payments. They want to see a history. And then from there on, they may or may not grant you the loan modification. But if they do, it's typically at a reduced interest rate, and it's typically at a reduced payment. So it keeps you, gets you in a better situation moving forward. Now, another option is called a deed in lieu of foreclosure, which is basically where the homeowner will just surrender the deed to the bank in lieu of being foreclosed on. Benefits the homeowner, benefits the bank because saves them thousands of dollars in attorney fees and a lot of other fees that are contributed there. It's better for the homeowner because it's not as much of a problem on their credit long term. It only affects them for maybe 4 years as opposed to the 5 to 7. The option that's typically best in that situation, if you can't do the loan mod or you can't do the forbearance, is called a short sale. Basically, a short sale is a situation where you owe more than the property is worth. So if you were to sell it yourself or try to sell it, there's no way that you could pay the bank what you owe them. So through the short sale process, you have to have a competent negotiator with the bank. The bank has to be, you have to have a negotiator that can get in and really work on your behalf. Now a short sale there's no guarantee there, it can take quite a while, but it is a very viable option for people. And let's say, if you take 100% of properties that are in distress, 20% of them actually go to foreclosure, 80% of them now actually result in a short sale. Advantage to a short sale is it's only going to affect your credit for 2 years. So yeah, it really stinks that maybe you have to move out of the house, but it's going to save your credit and it gives you the ability to move on. I really could go into a lot more detail on this, and if anybody that you know has questions or concerns, please feel free again to email me at quast@exitrealtygold.com, and I would be happy to give them a confidential consultation on that. So thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Best wishes.